And we are here. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where I'm here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. Not gonna happen this video, but that's all right. It is what it is, you know. We'll get there eventually. But joining me as always is my co-host, Mrs. Beth. I'll say what's up to her.
Hello. Happy it's Wednesday, right? Happy
It
Wednesday.
is Wednesday. Yeah, it is Wednesday. Now, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to both channels. Any recaps I do not do on my channel, Mrs. Best does on her channel. We're doing Basketball Wives and Love and Hip Hop Atlanta tonight, but she has all the rest of them, like Real Housewives New Jersey. We are finished with that. We did the finale, but they're doing like a reunion special, so I don't know if we're going to do that. But she'll have Real Housewives of Beverly Hills when that comes back on. And yeah, a slew of other shows. And on my channel, Real Housewives of Dubai is this week. Braxton Family Values will be filmed. It premieres this week, but I know I'm not going to film it until probably Sunday. So we'll see how that goes. Um, and then I have Real Housewives and Salt Lake City. I will have Real Housewives of Potomac whenever those shows decide to come back, as well as Family Empire and also Love and Marriage Huntsville, which are due back on the 17th. So we have a lot of shows coming up. So you guys make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to both channels. Now, I want to shout out to my girl, Hi Jim Bunny, for showing up. We appreciate you. You're always on time. We appreciate you. So, Real Housewives of Dubai. This show actually surprisingly on my channel does very, very well. So I'm going to definitely continue this journey with this show because y'all be in these comments, y'all be talking with me. So I'm going to definitely keep this show. So to kind of do a recap, because we initially had like a little break. So to recap where we were, Caroline Stansberry called out Chanel Ayan about a recording she has of Sarah saying that she does not like Brooks. And as soon as Stansberry calls out Chanel Ayan immediately looks at Lisa Milan and goes, "Hey, I'm sorry." And she was all like, "Oh, I know you're not talking about the voice note that I sent you." And she goes, "Yeah, that's what she's talking about. I'm sorry. I shared it. I'm sorry." And Lisa Milano was taken back because she was like, "Oh my God, really? Like, dang, I can't trust you no more. That was messy, messy of you both." Sarah the whole time looking like, "Wait, what voice note? What you talking about?" And so Lisa had to explain to her the voice note that you sent me after we had left Stansberry house when Talene Brooks and her husband had got into it, and you had said that you weren't a fan of Brooks and that whole situation. So she tells Ayan to play it because everybody is confused on why Sarah would say that she doesn't like Brooks or is not a big fan of Brooks. So when they replay it, Sarah actually said that she didn't like the situation and she's not that big of a fan of Talene. So now that that had got cleared up, Brooks Stansberry feels stupid for even bringing that up because it didn't even involve Brooks in the first place. It involved Talene. So as they're still going in the conversation, Chanel Young gets mad. She gives Stansberry the middle finger. She says, "Stick that up your ass. I'm done with you. I ain't got nothing to say to you." And so she gets up from the table. And everyone's like, "Well, where's she going? Like, we still have a night ahead of us because the ladies all plan to go out." So Lisa excused her. Right. So it didn't land at all. Exactly. It didn't land, didn't do what Stansberry thought it was going to do. And Lisa had her moment with Stansberry. She goes, "A snake may change their stripes, but they'll still be a snake." And Stansberry goes, "I feel the same way about you, darling." And see, this is where Stansberry turns around in my mind now. I don't like her no more now because it was all like, regardless of how you feel about her, you did something that was sneaky, and I don't blame you for doing it because you felt that that was your only ammunition against Sarah to prove a point. But at the same time, you then caused a rift between two people when you did that because for whatever reason, Chanel Ayan thought she had some trust in you, which I don't know why she would think that. Y'all haven't even been good this entire time. You just got to a point where you're good. So whatever level of trust she felt she had in you, it's now gone, and I don't blame her. So for you to get talk about Lisa being a snake, it's like, no, ma'am, she didn't do anything wrong. She didn't do anything wrong. Sorry. No, I don't see her as a snake. Was she messy? Absolutely. But here's the thing, y'all, and this is what I want people to get. If I'm sharing something with my best friend, who I have publicly come out and said is my best friend, and I'm sending her messages and voice notes of things, it is messy, but I'm trusting my best friend to not spill my tea in front of a group of our friends that could want to incriminate one friend and hurt the feelings of another friend. Because that's what that could have done. It didn't do that, but that's what could have happened. So for me, I don't feel like Lisa did anything wrong technically. I feel like it was messy, yes, but at the same time, she thought she was sharing that with her friend. But Lisa excuses herself to go to check on Shania after, it was said, okay, well, we'll let this go. And they want to go and party. So Lisa goes to Shania room, and all you hear as Lisa was in the room was that's all you heard the entire time. And you're like, what the hell is going on in the room? So Lisa is crying and she's telling the camera people, hold on, give me a minute. I can't right now. Hold on. And she tries to call her husband, and her husband doesn't answer. So, and this is where I'm gonna get Lisa together real quick. But Lisa then goes and calls Chanel Ayan's husband, Chris, and tells him, I am so upset. I'm so upset with Ayan. And he's handling it better than most husbands I know. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm sure everything will be fine. And then Rich calls, and Rich out partying. He didn't want to say that on camera, but that's what he was doing because she has, why aren't you at home with the boys? He goes, well, my mom's in town. She got them. What's going on? So she tells Rich what's going on with Chanel Ayan. And he kind of brushes off, like, y'all will be fine. Y'all are on vacation. Things happen. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, it is a big of a deal, but like that part, I want to know what he was doing too. Why is you out? You supposed to be babysitting. See, and I said this. If y'all go back and watch my recap, I said this. I said, that mama in town because that boy finna party. Because why your mama got to come to town? You can't watch boys, your 3 boys.
I
So
just want to know how he ain't got time to spend with his wife. You got a pencil and a date night, but you can find the time to party. And clearly, y'all got babysitters that are on duty. So,
So, but yeah, but Lisa, you ain't had no business because I'm about to get you together right now. You ain't had no business calling that lady's husband. I don't care what y'all was arguing about. You had no business calling that lady's husband, waking him up out his sleep to talk about you and Ayan. I knew Mrs. Best before she was married. Knew her way before her husband. And I would never, if me and her are in an argument, I would never call him to say anything that went on between she and I. Because that's not my place, and he don't really need to know that until she get home and tell him. So, yes, I don't understand why she would call him. So now that I covered that, is Mrs. Best's turn to give her response to this scene.
I'm not gonna lie, I was tearing up some nachos on meat, y'all. I I was hungry. No, I agree with you. That's weird. That's weird. I've actually had a friend, a mutual friend of me and James, went on girls trip with her. They acted a fool. We got into it. It's like 24 at the time. She tried to call my husband. She sure did because they cool. He love her to death. He do. Well, I tell you, he said, don't put me in that female shit and hung up. I said, oh no, hung up. I tried to call him back. He wouldn't pick up my call, he wasn't even picking up my calls. I didn't even do it. Most men don't want nothing to do with female drama. They don't want nothing to do with it. I don't care if they gay, they straight, they got 1 leg or 10. They don't care. Now, I understand. I agree with that, Jim Bunny. Like, unless Lisa's lost a leg, drowned in the oceans of Indonesia, or fell into the bottom of the waterfall, you don't need to bother her husband with that. And I agree it's worse because it was so late at night. But what I'm looking at is like, why your husband not answering the phone? Because listen, my husband goes out from time to time when he's in the club, okay? If he's in the studio at work, he gonna answer my phone call. And if he doesn't answer, I'm getting an immediate text message before I could even think to get back. That's just how my relationship works. I know everyone's relationship is different.
I was going to say because me and Michael B. Jordan's relationship, I can't call him because 9 out of 10 he either working, making an appearance, he ain't got his phone. The assistant got the phone,
But when your
well, I
man
can't
is
call
not
him.
at work, and in this case, Rich was not at work, he better answer the doggone phone. If you are not at work, then you are, and you're not in church, you know, or your religious, place of worship, then there's no reason that, you shouldn't answer my phone call as your wife. So now I'm
Hmm.
kind of looking at Rich and them. I already was looking like, oh, there's cracks in the foundation because of a few things she said, but I was looking at them crazy. But overall, Ayan, she reminds me of, like, she really pulled some like creepy, like Dahmer sociopathic like type of energy. Is very, my thing is, without going over all of it, Ayan, you were messy. You shared information that you should not have shared in the first place. Regardless of who sent it, why share it? That's weird to me. I know they're on TV, but that's weird to me to like play a voice note of all things. And then if it's iPhone, I know you had to hit that keep button for it not to expire. So that's even weirder. Why did you feel the need to like keep it? So the whole situation to me is strange. I don't like that it was shared. I feel like Ayan was wrong. She had no freaking right to holler or get at Lisa that way. Uh, Lisa better than me. You ain't gonna yell at me like
You ain't
that.
gonna yell at me, okay? And I didn't do anything wrong either. But I
And
tell y'all,
I
Lisa, when I tell y'all would have heard more than just that crying, y'all would have heard furniture being rearranged in that room.
mm-hmm,
I'm just
mm-hmm.
saying because there's no
I'm
way.
throwing the digital clock at her,
I'm
the iPhone
telling you.
charger.
Because according to Lisa's confession, she said, "How dare you say you're not gonna trust me? How dare you say you never gonna send me something? Get the fuck out my room." I mean, as soon as she said that, I'd have been like, "How you yelling at me like I did it?
Listen,
Like, like for
how
real?
you mad that you broke somebody's trust and
Right,
and they announce that the trust has been broken? How are you yelling at her? You should have yelled at Stansberry.
right. You should have stayed at that table and cut Stansberry out because you knew she.
If
Come on,
I
you knew
don't
that
see
lady knew what she was
Ayan
doing.
holler at Stansberry at some point during this season, and I don't care if it's petty, I really don't. If I don't see her give Stansberry some type of the same energy that she gave to Lisa, who didn't do nothing to her, I'm oof,
Oh yeah, you can cancel her for me.
yeah.
I don't want her anymore on the show. I don't want her on the show anymore. I don't want
She
to see her
showed
no
her
more
hand. She had no
because to
reason to be
me,
upset.
yeah, to me that was so egotistical of you to be upset at your best friend over some shit you did. Regardless of, and then she said in her confessional that she was more mad at Lisa than Stansberry because she had told Lisa that she already said to Stansberry. I'm like, well, then what you apologizing that scene for? I don't
No, what
believe.
it is she's mad that Lisa was right because she been warning you about Stansberry. And from what it
Hmm.
gave, Stansberry seemed almost disappointed that Chanel wasn't like extra upset with her. I don't know. Stansberry, I feel like may have befriended Ayan on some shady stuff. I mean, that's what
It's
she
giving that to
does.
me too. Yeah,
That's
it's
what
giving
she
that after
does.
this, it's giving that. It's
And
giving that
Ayan, you should have listened to your friend. Because I
right.
would never, like, I can understand being cordial, right? But I'm not gonna go and be like chummy with like my best friend's eye. Like, I'm
Especially
just,
when you know that this lady has come for Lisa.
yeah.
Like it's one of those things where I'm like, there's no way someone can come from Mrs. Best and I'm finna tee hee hee with them. I don't care what show we on.
No, we could be
I'm not
cordial,
finna.
we could be in the same room, we could work together, whatever. But don't ever like call me. Don't try. You don't exist to me outside of
Right.
that. Like that's all it has to be. It's just weird that
And
Ayan
for the
was.
most part, Lisa and Stansberry were very cordial up until this point. They were very cordial. So it kind of pissed me off. I kind of felt like Lisa really did grit her teeth and bear it for Ayan and for her for that just to blow up in her face. Like y'all, it's more than just her sharing a voice note. It's the fact that she came to her saying that she wanted to be cool with this lady. So Lisa gave it the benefit of the doubt. Whenever she was around Stansberry, she was nice. They didn't argue. They were very cordial. They laughed with each other. She really did put on a front for Ayan. to be cool with this lady, and this is what happens. So it goes beyond her sharing her voice. So it's like, look, I'm trying, I don't see it for this lady. This lady came from my businesses, came from my marriage this first season, and then here you go trying to befriend her. I'm gonna play along, but really I don't want to. And now here you go
You
backstabbing
know
me.
for a fact that I am moving funny when Brooks start to make sense.
Thank you. I
When
was because
Brooks
I'm a
was starting to make sense, and you
okay,
see her drinking, so she's making
right.
sense through the liquor, through the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I was like, "Oh damn, Ayan is over."
Okay, it really is. So, and that's what happens next is that Lisa goes out to the girls, and Brooks meets her in the hallway. She goes, "What's going on? Where's Ayan?" And she goes, "She's not coming. She told me to get the fuck out of her room." And Brooks is like, "Why? You didn't do nothing wrong." She goes, "I know." Like, and I just that's what Lisa like. She goes, "Lisa, you didn't do nothing wrong. That is on her. She did it. She should have did it. She know what she did." And I said, "Thank you, Brooks." But in the meantime, in her confessional, though, I'm gonna get Brooks together right now. But she was tickled pink when she said, "Yes, there's a rift between the best friends." Yeah, I was like, "Okay, you way too excited about this with your hating ass, Brooks. I can't stand you, but I love you in this
Oh,
moment."
I really, I couldn't stand her petty confessional moment, but I think she just feel left out. If you know,
I
you
think
know.
so
I'm
too.
not gonna go into it. I'm gonna
Hmm.
just say, if you know, you know. She feels a little
But
left
she
out.
shouldn't because they include her. That's why I'm like, okay, but you should. Do you just want to be the leader and they follow you? Is that what it is?
Brooks just wants the next drink and the next check written. That's it.
So speaking of drinks, so the ladies go out without Chanel Ayan. She doesn't go out the ladies. They go into the streets of Bali, go into the clubs, and as they're getting there, they go to this one club and they're drinking the liquor. And they say it's that cheap liquor because with Dubai they got the real good tequila and vodka and stuff. And here they have straight up fumes. I was cracking up at that. I said, "Ain't nothing like some cheap liquor." I promise
He
you, I
said
done
it's
been there.
petrol. We're drinking petrol.
Trust me, them be the good days. Let me tell you something. Them that be the liquor of your life because it's cheap, it lasts, and trust me, you gonna wake up with that hangover. I didn't have plenty of them nights. So,
Every time.
mhm. So they in the club, and Brooks is technically the only single one because I guess Saba is not single, and Sarah's dating that man that we don't see anymore. Um, and so they're scouting. And Talene finds this man with some long hair. I forgot his name already. I don't really care. He goes over to Brooks, and he's not Brooks's type. But when he's talking to Brooks, he was talking about how he owned the club, the last club they ended up going to. And you see, Brooks didn't let him go that easily, though. Not Akeem, the man that Talene had met in the club for Brooks. I forgot his name. But they end up going to his club, and Stansberry that liquor and kicked in because she don't dance or nothing, but got her ass right up on that stage and started doing something. And I was like, oh, and the ladies were all excited, like, yeah, Stansberry, you letting it loose and everything. And they kept having like snippets of Shania Yan sleeping and everything. And I'm just like, let it go. I don't care. I don't even want to see her right now. But the ladies had a good time at Bali. That club, that liquor was flowing. They were having a good time. I don't know if Brooks got that man's number or not, but I hope she would because he looked like he got a good coin out there in Bali.
I'm starting to
So,
believe a lot of the things Brooks has said about Talene on social media and on this show in regards to her husband and their activities, because she was real comfortable just
you
walking
notice that you
and
notice
snatching
that too,
somebody
right?
else. I'd be scared that like there's like a hidden camera somewhere when I'm out at the club or something. If I'm just walking up to men's and stuff, I'd be like, my husband gonna find out or something. He gonna find out the motherfucker's possessive. But she was so comfortable.
Grabbed the man, said, "Come on over. That's my friend." And you ain't, and mind you, these two are not that cool right now. So she was doing extra work. And yeah, I'm starting to look at Talina a little bit differently too. I always was the last few episodes. I don't like how she moved, but I was really looking at her as well. I saw that. The man was, and I agree with Brooks. The man wasn't all that. And yeah, he might have had money or whatever, but Brooks is used to, let me tell y'all something about Brooks. Brooks is used to that Dubai billionaire money. She is not used to regular club owners, that may be millionaires. Brooks is used to a whole different lifestyle. Brooks is getting flown out from private jet from here to Bali, which is not cheap. Ain't married three of Jim Bunny. But yes, but Brooks is used to a whole different life. That man can't afford Brooks. Hell, I don't even think her ex-husband can afford Brooks. I'm telling you, Brooks is that girl. That's what I said. I want to take notes from her. I do. Because I believe her. I'm sorry. When she said she flew out to Bali private, despite the ladies, I believed her. I did. Just because I know women like Brooks. I do. So yes. But the night comes on, everyone's getting waking up. Um, Stansberry has a hangover and she can't even get out of bed. She said that cheap liquor. It done did it. Talene walks in the room and says, not Brooke, Stansberry. Sorry, y'all. Stansberry is, can't even get up. So when Talene gets in the room, she's like, we gotta go. We gotta get ready. Sarah has this event planned for us. And Stansberry's like, I'm not going to that. I can't even get up. And they begin talking about the night about Chanel Yan and that thing. And Talene said apparently because Lisa told her that Chanel Yan is mad at Lisa. And even Stansberry's like, well, why would she be mad at Lisa? Lisa didn't do anything. They're like, I don't know. She goes, I don't know why she's not taking any accountability. And I feel bad for even bringing it up. And I was like, oh, so now you feel bad for bringing it up because it didn't do what you thought it was going to do. Stansberry ain't nothing, y'all. That lady ain't nothing. But then we go over to Chanel Yan. She's getting her makeup put on. And she calls her husband and has to explain because Lisa called her husband and told her what happened, and he's kind of like, you guys will be fine. And she goes, yeah, I know, we'll be fine. And she goes, I love you, and all this kind of stuff. It was just nothing. So the ladies crowd around the table, they're eating breakfast and everything, and Cheyenne comes to the table, and Sarah was like, well, we missed you. Like, where were you? And she goes, I needed rest. I needed some sleep and everything. And in the meantime, Lisa's coming to the table. And Chanel Yan does this passive aggressive reverse psychology phrase. She goes, we going to talk a little later because I don't like what happened between you and I. And it triggered Lisa as it would trigger anybody because it was like, well, wait, once again, why are you jumping on me like I'm the one who did it?
Who the fuck are you talking to, bitch?
Right?
Listen, it's not like people think it's just always being called a name or someone hollering. You got to really pay attention to how people talk to you. Poor
Yes.
Lisa. I felt for her, but so badly. I wanted to be like, buck up, stop crying, or at least
Okay,
crying.
don't be starting this fucking crying. Like, no,
Right,
cuss her ass out in front of them too, girls. I don't
right.
care. I'm cussing you out. Um, yes. You are so good at reviewing the show. You could tell you really think about it and process it. I absolutely do. I think about this and process it because for me, I love human behavior to an extent, though, even when it's reality TV, because it has to make sense in a way, but then also it has to be relatable where people do this in everyday life. So I do be processing everything that these ladies be doing. But back to these two. When Chanel Yan did that and Lisa walked away crying, I was like, see, Lisa better than I ever could be because there's no way I'm gonna sit next to you. You're gonna tell me that and then say, oh, well, yeah, we're gonna talk later because I don't like what happened between us. It was like, well, you the cause of it. You did it. Like, I was confused as crazy. So they walk away from the table, both Chanel Ayan and Lisa. And what it came down to, they both sat in the corner and was like, look, I don't like what happened. When you say you didn't trust me and you didn't, want to send me any notes, I took that very personal because I love you like a sister and all this manipulation. And I'm looking at Chanel Ayan like,
Thank you for calling it manipulation
because
because
that's what it is.
that's exactly what it was. I was texting James, y'all, like, ooh, she behaving like a sociopath. She did a bad thing, and then she got mad at other people about it instead of at herself. She was just mad at the fact that it was caught. She's just behaving in a way that I actually don't think she's good for Lisa. I just don't feel like she's good for Lisa. With how
I agree.
emotional Lisa got, I don't feel like this is the first time those two have gotten into it or Ayan has done something to this extent. Because Ayan, it seems comfortable with like if she cares about you, she's gonna do with you what she chooses, and you're just expected to kind of forgive her. That's the energy she got. But it's like, no, like you might have to apologize more than one time. This girl is crying and you're still trying to bring yourself into it. I just don't trust Diane no more. It kind of ruined her for me. And I love Diane, I really did, but the way she handled it was just strange.
It was just not only was it strange, it reminded me of like an abusive boyfriend almost, like where he's telling you,
Yeah,
yeah, I know I whooped your ass, but you know I love you on top of that. Like you know
right.
you the one for me. You know you always got my heart, this and that.
It
And
was
then
cringy.
yeah, it was cringy. And then you kind of looking at, and then Lisa's like, yeah, you know I love you. You know I would never do anything to hurt you. Like, and it was like, Lisa, snap out of it. That's not what happened here. Hold her ass accountable. No, look, you betrayed my trust. You went over there to someone you know I don't like, and you played a recording for her, misconstrued the whole thing, and then it landed on my lap. That's what you did. No, 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 no. I need an apology. And I need like the fact that Lisa apologized with her. I
That
was like,
pissed me
oh,
off.
Lisa. I said, come
And
on now.
that's what made me think that this has happened before. Because Lisa did not, and I could be I could be looking too deep into it, y'all. I do work in psychology, but still, I feel like her response and the fact that she was quick to apologize, like I feel like this has happened before in their friendship, probably off camera. Uh, I just don't trust any of it. But for her to apologize, I don't know. Lisa needs to see a therapist, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe her mama right. They need to move out of Dubai, even if it's back to London near his family. But I don't feel like she needs to go, because even though Chanel had her twisted and there was a big betrayal, I don't feel like the betrayal was so big that she needed to be in tears like that. Or like just because somebody cussed me out, I'm not gonna like be in tears to that extent and that upset. Like
Well, I'm not either, but you and I made differently
I'm gonna cuss
because
their ass
yeah,
out and keep
exactly.
moving.
There's no way. Like Sarah would have had to make double the plans of spiritual healing that day after I would have got through with her
Double the
because now,
plan.
what I'm telling you, y'all would have got cussed out right in front of all of them. Then I would have cussed Stansberry out for pulling that shit out in the first place when you know that shit is foul. And then I probably would have directed some of that shit to someone else as well. I don't know who else pissed me off on that table. But I'm just saying, everybody would have got it because y'all not gonna come down on me, especially Chanel Yan, my best friend, mind you, of this whole entire girl group, and make me feel like I'm the bad guy when I've done nothing wrong but share something I thought with my best friend. I didn't think she was gonna spray the whole group with my tea, but okay, hey. But they end up making up, you guys, and Sarah then tells them what they have planned. Now, Stansberry is not with it. She does not feel good. She's not trying to go anywhere. But she musters through it, and they go and they get in their cars. Now, it was ironic because the three black ladies on the show ended up in one vehicle together and called it the black vehicle, while the other ladies went into the other vehicle, miserable. And it was funny because how they were playing. The girls was in the Chanel, Yan, Lisa, and Brooks were there dancing, laughing, giggling, and the other car, everybody was either sleeping, complaining, getting pissed off. It was so funny to watch. Like I was like, that's exactly how it be on them
Yeah,
kind of trips where you go with a whole bunch of people. You get in the car with the people you're gonna have a good time with, and there's always a miserable ass car following right behind you.
it's the truth.
So we focus more so on the card that has Stansberry, Sarah, Saba, and Talim. And Stansberry is still like, oh, I don't feel good, but I need to call Sergio. Let me call Sergio real quick. And sir, you could tell Sergio ain't went to sleep yet because he was waiting on this phone call so he can go to sleep. And I don't really care about this conversation. And Sainsbury's like, oh, I gotta throw up. Y'all gotta pull the car over. Y'all gotta pull the car over. And Sarah is pissed. Sarah's like, I can't believe it. She complaining about everything. Now she got to go throw up. I can't do this. She was telling Saba, I can't do this. Like, this is not how I go on vacations. Like, I'm trying not to be late to this thing. And here she is complaining. And she was only happy when she got on the phone with Sergio. Now, I wasn't mad at Sarah for that. I really wasn't, because I understood exactly what she was saying. Like Stansberry would have made a fuss even if she wasn't hungover. And I believe that. I do. I believe that. And I could resonate with Sarah being angry. I don't like Sarah still, but I understand her being angry because I would be mad too. So the ladies finally get there, and it's a very spiritual. It's something I do want to try. Mrs. Best, when we go to Bali, this is something I want to try because this actually looked very. This looked more legit than the man with the man bun and her screaming in the pillow.
Don't talk to me about that white man anymore. You know how I feel about that man and that damn bun. I thought I was moving past it, James. Oh, he irked my soul. But
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
I'm down for whatever, y'all. I love to travel. I'll do whatever. I'm trying to get James to jump out a plane with me, off a cliff, something. But
I've done both of those
I've
things,
been
and I will
through it.
never do them again.
Why not?
I've done both of those things. I will never do them again.
Yeah.
I will never bungee jump anymore. I will never do skydiving. I did both. Now I'll do the indoor skydiving with you. I will do that, but I'm not finna do no jumping on no planes no more. Especially because the diver that I was attached to, he laughed a lot like Chucky. You know, the little doll. He laughed just like that, and I was like, "Oh no! See, I'm about to die for real." Because if this don't kill me, your laugh and the tendencies I think you have will kill me. So yes, I won't do that no more. But anyways, y'all, back to the sorry for the little rabbit hole. Y'all know we always go through a little rabbit hole on my channel, and this is best channel too. But the ladies are going in, they are giving their offerings, you know, they have statues and Buddhas and things that they pray. And we learned that in Indonesia, Bali specifically, it is a Muslim based country, but they also practice a lot of spirituality as well. So the ladies are, you know, giving their offering, lighting the incense, and asking for prayer, forgiveness, guidance, whatever you're praying to. Lisa Milan, you know, in this ignorant moment, because I don't like when black people do this. I don't. It's very stupid of y'all to do this. But she goes, "Oh, I don't like how some of these look, and I don't want to pray. Like, this isn't very Christian." And I'm looking at her like, I don't agree with what Talene said in her confessional because I feel like you apples and oranges, sweetie. That's not the same thing. Apples and oranges. The Lord don't care about you turning up, shaking your ass, and wagging in the club every Saturday night. As long as your ass is in church on Sunday. The Lord don't care about all that. So cut it out, Celine. I didn't like that. But what I did not like is I don't like when people, you're in a different country. You live in a different country that's different from the morals and values you were raised in. So I don't understand how that's okay, but this isn't. I just want to put that out there. But she was just kind of like, no, I'm not going to pray. Certain them look, you know, weird and stuff. And then they move on. And this time Stansberry, which she was gonna piss me off on this episode one way or another. But then they go into a waterfall, and I wanted to try this because it does look killing. The premise of the waterfall is they're going to induct themselves under it and scream to release. And screaming, and you guys, I do agree with Sarah on this one. Screaming is a way to release a sound to whatever negative energy you have in your body and then release it out of you. And that's what a lot of women are doing. And I think some of them did get the healing that they were asking for. And maybe some just screamed just because they wanted to scream, Brooks. But I'm not gonna say nothing, you know. But everyone was kind of like calling Caroline Stansberry to come on up there, join them because they wanted her to be a part of this as well. And she was on her phone, she didn't want no parts of it and whatever. So it was a very healing situation for them. They all got what they wanted out of it. They thanked Sarah. It was very nice and very lovely. And once the ladies get back, Lisa tells them that they're going to get dressed up. She has a designer that has made them all custom gowns that they would wear like in a formal dressing, and it's fitting. So she picks out everyone's dresses. To me, the only one that I liked, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, after seeing them on, the only one I liked really was Lisa's and maybe Saba's. I didn't like everyone else's. What about you, Mrs. Best? Did you like anyone else's dress on there?
It was pretty much the same. Lisa's looked good, but yeah.
I don't. Yeah, Shania. I didn't like Shania's. I
I want
did
to say
not
this:
like.
everybody's congratulating Stansberry on her facelift and whatnot, but without that makeup, my goodness.
I'm not going there with y'all. I
That's
saw it, but I
all I'm
wasn't.
saying. That's it. I'm not gonna say nothing else because he'll get on me. I'm gonna be nice. That's all. Keep. Thank you. Shout out to the makeup artists. They are truly artists.
No, I'm saying, when she get herself together, Caroline Stansberry ain't bad though. She looks great when she get herself together. But yeah, when hungover Caroline Stansberry, yeah, but that ain't it, baby. That ain't it. So the ladies are taking forever. When I say ladies, I'm talking about Brooks, Stansberry, and Talene. The other ladies are good to go already, so they decide to leave them. And as they get to the restaurant, the waitress is like, "Okay, well, anybody else joining your guys' party?" And they're like, "No, they're not gonna make it." And they're like, "Okay." So the ladies order, and Lisa is pissed because she's like, "Well, where are they? Like, why haven't they shown up yet?" And so I think it was Sarah that called Brooks. I believe it was Sarah who called Brooks. And when she calls Brooks, they were like, "We're not coming. We don't like the gowns. We don't like the dresses." And Lisa is hearing all this and she's getting pissed because she arranged for them to have these outfits. It's a part of the Indonesian Bali culture for them to wear these gowns. And to hear Brooks complaining about the dress and it being mustard, and Talene saying she doesn't like her dress. And I was looking at Talene like, it really ain't the dress, it's the way they did your makeup. Like, that's what was really wrong
I
with your
thought the
outfit.
same thing.
Yeah, I was like, your dress wasn't that bad. Stansberry's was terrible. Now I will give her that. Stansberry's dress was terrible. And I feel like Brooks didn't really give her dress a chance. I feel like that dress would have looked good on her because she has such a beautiful skin tone. I feel like that color would have been beautiful on her skin if she really would have put in that effort. I think she just is just turning a blind eye because it's a, not a, it's a popular color, but it's not, a fashion popular like color. It's just, just it was just terrible. It was just I was like, y'all are some terrible human beings. And they pretty much the show ends on that note. I'm excited to see next week's episode because I want to see what Chanel and Yana Stansberry do as far as duking it out. I want to see how that happens, or is it going to be her kissing Stansberry ass, which I feel like she'll kiss Stansberry ass. Mrs. Best, is there anything you want to add to this lovely episode of Real Housewives of Dubai?
Ayan is wrong. That's it.
Yeah, and we can agree to that. Ayan is wrong. Ayan is big wrong for one, how she handled the situation, the aftermath for being messy, and then doing that reverse psychology manipulation on Lisa. Like, if I was Lisa, I would never fool with her again. And Lisa, you know what you do? Bring one of your other homegirls in your tennis club or where you get your nails or wherever. Bring that black homegirl on the show, the one that's about it. I want you to bring a friend on the show because I see all these ladies are trying to play you, and I don't like it. Lisa, I might not be the biggest fan of Lisa's on this show because I do feel like she is messy and sometimes annoying. But at the same time, she didn't deserve this, y'all. Not at all. So next season, I want her to bring a homegirl on the show, and I want them to leave Saba where she at. Do not bring her. Do not make her full time. Please do not make her full time because I'm not going to subscribe to this. But I need Lisa to bring a homegirl on the show next season. That's all. All right. Anything else, Mrs. Best, before I end it?
No.
All right. Well, that's it, you guys. We thank you once again. Like, comment, and subscribe, especially if you like what you see. We do this every week for Real Housewives of Dubai. The next recap on my channel will be Braxton Family Values, since they are coming back with that show. I will be recapping it. Viewers' discretion is advised. I am not easy on the Braxtons because they Braxtons. I go in on everybody, including parents. So if y'all don't like it, I'm sorry, but I'm going to be honest. If I see wrong, I'm going to call it out. I don't care who
You
do
don't
it.
see some wrong.
Oh, I know I am. So I'm ready for it. But thank you guys. If you're not subscribed to Mrs. Best's channel, please subscribe to her channel because we're going to her channel now to recap Basketball Wives and Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And you're not going to want to miss it because, baby, those episodes was crazy. I will see you guys on my next review. Thank you for watching my reviews. People who show up for me every week. I love y'all. Thank you. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.